It's not much longer of a wait for Sandfall Interactive's gorgeous role-playing game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And at the time of this video going out, we were actually a week away from its launch. This game launches on the 24th of April for Xbox Series X, S, PS5, and PC for $50. And it's day one on Game Pass if you want to save some money and go that route. This is a title with a lot of eyes on it, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And it's crazy to think this was revealed last year and it's already about to be coming out. And it's awesome when we get games like that because a lot of times we get games that are announced and revealed and they're 2 years or longer away. But if you want to know more about this game or are interested in possibly getting it and playing it, well, this video is for you as I want to go into everything you should know before you decide to spend $50 on getting this game. The premise involves members of the titular expedition setting out to end a long-running curse. But before we get into more of the lore aspect of it, let's talk about characters in the all-star voice cast. Expedition 33 is a varied bunch, starting with Gustav, an engineer with a mechanical arm. Mel, his foster sister, who is younger than the rest but keen to see the world outside of Lumiere. Loon, a mage who seeks to know more about the world. And Sheol, a teacher with a dark and painful past. Behind her easygoing nature, there's also Raynor, a mysterious man seeking to save his family under any means necessary, and Verso, a mysterious outsider tracking the expedition for unknown reasons. And while they're appealing enough, the voice cast really sells it. On the English side, you have Charlie Cox, who is Daredevil from Marvel, voicing Gustav. And then you got Jennifer English from Baldur's Gate 3, voicing Male. And then Ben Starr, who recently is in Kazan, bringing Verso to life. And the legendary Andy Serkis as Raynor. Of course, the local cast is equally star-studded with the likes of Alexander Gillette, the dub voice for Elijah Wood and Ryan Gosling across numerous films, Adeline Chatel, The Last of Us, and Celine Malo, if I'm saying it right, Aerith in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and much more. Despite the size of developer Sandfall Interactive, it's leveraged Unreal Engine 5 to deliver some stunning visuals. Metal Human is used for character creation with cutscenes featuring motion capture performances. World Partition drives the world map, and Lumen allows for certain stylistic real-time global illumination. Then there's the turn-based combat. At its core, Expedition 33 is a turn-based role-playing game. You'll encounter enemies on the field and transition to a separate screen for combat. Characters and enemies take turns attacking with a helpful order displayed on the upper left. You also have action points for utilizing skills, but there are several elements of action titles imbued in the combat. For instance, characters like Gustav can freely aim ranged weapons and target weak spots, dealing more damage. Skills also have QTEs, where proper timing ensures more damage, though you can turn them off in the options. Parrying, dodging, and countering are also important. These aren't specific skills or passive benefits. When an enemy attacks, you can physically dodge or parry to avoid damage and execute a counter. If the entire team parries an attack, they all counter at once for extensive damage. And yes, From Software's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice served as the big inspiration for this, offering more of a skill-based and rhythmic element to defending. Despite many common systems for each character, they all have different playstyles. Mel, for example, has 3 stances: offensive for more damage taken and received, defensive for damage reduction and more AP received on parries and dodges, and virtuous for inflicting 20% more damage. Loon inflicts stains on enemies, and when utilizing certain skills, you can consume them to trigger different effects. You can also assign different passive traits and obtain gear for further customization builds. As you level up, each character receives 3 points for upgrading attributes and 1 skill point to unlock new abilities. The former improves stats like vitality, might, agility, defense, and luck, influencing typical things like your health, attack damage, speed, damage reduction, and critical hit rate. Though they only start with a handful of skills, spending points in a character's skill tree allows for unlocking more options. Later skills require more points to unlock, but if you don't like your current setup, you can consume an item to recode and essentially reset stats and skill points. Based on a preview demo that content creators and media went hands-on with, there are some pretty devious bosses to deal with. The Chromatic Best is one such bizarre creature that relies on ranged spells. Bojan is a hulking monstrosity that can inflict exhausted, preventing characters from gaining EP, and performs extensively long combos that require alternating between dodging and parrying. Remember that these are bosses from the opening hours. Who knows what other devastating challenges await? Main story is over 30 hours long. So when you look at behemoths like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and so on, Expedition 33 may not appear to be a long experience. However, it still takes over 30 hours to clear the main story, which is pretty extensive and comparable to titles like Dragon's Dogma 2. How much of that compromises cutscenes, dialogue exchanges, and so on is unknown, but it's a meaty story regardless, and I'm all for it. For those who want a little more, bang for their buck or something to take a break from the story, there's side content, which is comparable in size to the main story. Sandfall Interactive hasn't exactly outlined all different activities, but they should afford more opportunities to learn about the world and its inhabitants. Linearity. Linearity is a common theme among previews regarding the game's levels. When you enter an area, it's extensively linear, but there are different optional paths to traverse, which contain tougher enemies, loot, and even some platforming. It may vary from area to area depending on the story, but you won't just be running from point A to point B in a corridor like fashion. No mini maps and levels either, though. So unfortunately, you won't have any mini map to guide you through these areas. The CEO of the dev team told Eurogamer recently, when there's a mini map, you can end up relying on it, and we want players to discover the world as the expedition does it. They don't have a map because every previous expedition failed. So yes, sometimes it can be difficult to find their way. While levels have their own layouts that you explore from a third-person perspective, with the option to switch between party members while exploring, there's also an overworld map. It essentially links everything together, and you'll traverse it in real time. You'll discover shortcuts and other secrets, and while it does warn about higher level areas, you're free to challenge them anyway. And while there's plenty of on-foot exploration, subsequent footage has showcased craft for traversing water and even flying through the sky, airship style. A compass is also available for reorienting yourself more reliably. Even with how good it looks, Expedition 33's hardware requirements are not too hefty for PC players. On a minimum end, you need an Intel i7 8700K or AMD Ryzen 5 1600X, 8 gigs of RAM, and either an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 with 6 gigs of RAM. 6 gigs VRAM. An AMD Radeon RX 5600 XT, 6 gigs there, or an Intel Arc A380, 6 gigs as well there. This is enough for 1080p 30 FPS on low settings if you want to go that route. The recommended requirements include an i7 11700K or Ryzen 5 5600X, 16 gigs of RAM, or an RTX 3070, 8 gigs, or a Radeon RX 6800 XT, 16 gigs, which delivers 1080p 60 FPS on high settings. An SSD will be required, and 55 gigs of installation space is also mandatory across the board. And despite being inspired by Sekiro, one of the most challenging games out there, Expedition 33 has various difficulty options like easy, normal, and hard mode. Sandfall didn't explicitly outline all their differences, but it noted that playing on easy means you can succeed even without being a master dodger. Normal is also forgiving enough, but on hard, you need to dodge at least 50% of enemy attacks. The parry and dodge windows also change depending on the difficulty, further adding to the challenge. If you check the Steam page, though, even though this is $50, it is running a special promotion ends on May 1st, where you get 10% off on the standard as well as the deluxe edition. I believe it's also the same on console too. If you decide to opt in for the deluxe edition, you get the Expedition 33 base game plus the Flowers collection, 6 outfits and hairstyles inspired by Flowers of Lumiere, along with 6 additional Gomez outfit variations, 1 for each playable character. Then there's a custom outfit for Male and a custom outfit for Gustav. But if you want to save even just a little bit more money with getting this game, I am partnered with CD Keys, and you can check out the game on there, where it's currently priced at $37.99 for the standard, and the deluxe is priced at $45.79. Up to you, but honestly, that helps me out a lot. If you decide to get through CD Keys, using my link in the description below, saves you a ton of money usually, and helps support the channel. And that's all I got for you in this video when it comes to everything you should know before you decide to get Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I personally cannot wait to get it myself and try it out. I love RPGs, bring you guys different kind of RPGs to play on the channel, showcase, and show cool things about them, and just help understand them better for you guys. But what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this game. Is it something you're going to be picking up right away, wait for a sale, or play through Game Pass? If you found this video helpful and enjoyed it, please hit that like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.